In this video we're going to geek out a bit. I've put together a folder of all of the documentation that I got when I bought the car. There's a collection of stuff from the previous owner and documentation that came along with the car. So I've put it in this folder, which you'll probably, if you're a bit of an Elan geek like myself, you'll recognise the front cover, but we'll come to that in a minute. So most owners, when they have a classic car, tend to put together a folder of all the stuff that comes with the car. So obviously I've got the V5 here, which is an obvious one, and here I've got probably the most recent invoice, which is a when I changed the badge, which you'll have seen in a previous episode. So I've also got the SE badge there still, just to remind me.
Power nap.
What else we got? So we've got. I've also made a kind of a record of when it was on the Snow's website from Snow's Lotus. So there's a little bit of documentation as it was advertised on the website. I took some photographs of the car when it was at the dealership, just as a bit of a record. So there it is, just waiting to be picked up. And this is a recent article from Autocar that just had some information about buy them before we do, so pick up a Elan before they go up in price. Hopefully they will, but that's not the main reason for owning the car, but it's always nice to see them getting a bit more appreciated. I've also got this document here, which is pretty cool. This is obviously the sort of sales leaflet from when the person originally bought the car. So it's the sales leaflet, and it's got some information specifically about the S2, and it's got some notes at the top. It says the date there, the 3rd of the 1st 95, which was when it was registered, the special number 278, which it is, some contact details for the dealership and stuff like that. So that's quite nice to have. It's amazing that's actually survived along with the car. So this is quite a cool thing to have as well for an S2. This is the original certificate from the factory that has the limited edition number, the VIN number, the engine number, stuff like that, and also a signature from Adrian Palmer, the managing director at the time. So every S2 should have one of those, or should still have one of those, hopefully. And it says here that it's got the graphite grey leather interior, which was an option, and the radio cassette and CD player and the Nardi steering wheel, which is pretty cool. Okay, this is one of the first maintenance schedules for the car as well, which is pretty cool. We've also got some Elan facts that I got off the Elan website when I wanted to sort of when I was picking out a buyer's guide. This is cool. This was when I was buying the car. It was on Piston Heads that they did an article about my specific car available at a Lotus dealership, which is still online if you want to have a look at it. Lotus Elan M100 spotted. So that was quite nice to see when I bought the car. We've also got things like when the exhaust system was fitted at Paul Matty Sports Cars. So we've got some information about that, front pipe performance, front pipe, centre pipe performance, all of the details of that. There's a whole load of other sort of servicing documentation as well. Load of old MOTs, which is pretty neat to have. And also, even if you get down the back here, really geeking out now, we've got an old article from Autocar back in the day about the S2 launch, and just the details about what they changed about the car at the time. So it's a bit geeky, I know, probably bored you to death looking at that, but it's kind of really cool to keep this documentation. So another geeky element is the cover of my folder, which the inspiration for came from the original Elan brochure. That's the original Elan brochure cover, which I happen to have a copy of here.
No way.
Now, story behind this is I used to want an Elan when I was a kid, so I picked up the brochure at the local Lotus dealership. So this is an Elan SE brochure. So total geek out here. We can see all the details of the Elan, which some owners have probably already seen this or probably have a copy themselves. So it's a nice brochure. It's got all the details, all the pickies. Used to thumb through that an awful lot when I was a kid, thinking, yeah, I'll have one of those at some point. As soon as I Could though have bought an MX-5, which was a strange one, but it's taken me all these years to finally decide to get around to having an Elan and owning it and using it. So, something else turned up in the post today, so lots of opportunity to geek out here. This is a S2 brochure.
What?
Now these have got to be pretty rare because, as you know, they only made 800 S2s, so they couldn't have made many brochures. So this is the S2 brochure. So it's got all the technical specifications on the back, which is pretty cool. It's got like this slightly crazy tab in the middle here, and a sort of a representation of the logo and the badge that you have on the dashboard. And it's got a picture of the Elan. Not sure about the purple, but I'm sure that quite a few owners have got the purple, but I don't know whether I could live with that every day. So, nice little brochure. And it's also got this accessories kit, which is kind of interesting as too. Price options and accessories of the S2 Elan. So what have we got? See what mine's got on it. So from the factory, £20,851, 3,600 odd pounds of VAT. So it would have cost £24,500 when it was new. You can see if we go for the options, mine's got the full grey leather interior, which must have cost £865. What else have we got? Haven't got air conditioning, haven't got metallic paint, haven't got the blue coloured hood. Wouldn't have minded that, that's quite cool. Nardi steering wheel, got one of those, so that was £55, so that seems like a bargain. And it's also got the Clarion radio cassette player with CD, so two obsolete formats there, radio cassette and CD, and that was £820, so not exactly cheap. And it's the standard paint colour. So yeah, really it was the grey leather interior, the full Nardi steering wheel, and the CD player in the boot. So yeah, probably, what's that, 1,600, say 1,700 odd pounds worth of accessories on my car. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. It's a bit geeky, I know, but it's nice to have these things with the car, and I'll stick this in the folder. And yeah, thanks for watching, and check back for regular updates, and please subscribe to the channel so that you can get regular updates, and I can see that people are actually interested in watching these videos. Okay, thanks very much.